Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today for another one of our weekly Beacon Career Conversations. I'm Leslie Perry from the Professional Beauty Association, and I'm joined behind the scenes by my colleague, Paige Peterson. If you have any questions today that you'd like to ask, please type them into the Q&A box, and we will get to them and hopefully get to all of them today if we have the time. So I'm so excited and just such a pleasure to introduce today's guest, Danielle Ferguson. So this is super special because you were a Beacon student, but also part of our initial group of peer mentors from this year's class of Beacon 2020. So we're just so excited to have you with us.
Thank you.
As we were just talking before we went live here, you also just moved, like this week, moved completely from your home in Ohio down to Nashville. So we'll talk about that too. But before we get started on that, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how did you pick beauty? Where did that path come from for you in this big wide industry of beauty?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was really like a tomboy, like sports person. I was always in sports, like never wore makeup, never did any of that. But then like something switched, I think, in high school. But I just got super into makeup, and then that wanted me to go to esthetology school because great makeup comes from great skincare, and I really wanted to be able to provide my clients like a full rounded knowledge, so that way with their skincare like comes great makeup, so I could help them with all of that. And then past that, I wanted to advance it into permanent makeup because that just really intrigued me all throughout school. So that's kind of what I do now, but kind of just done a little bit of everything.
So talk to me about like the permanent makeup thing. That's intriguing to me. So when we've talked about this, I'm also licensed in aesthetics and did makeup and a lot of bridal makeup. And then looked at permanent makeup, but it freaked me out because I was like, oh, it's like it's permanent, right? So how did you decide, yes, that is the next path for me, that's where I want my career to be progressing?
So doing makeup, like obviously like that is temporary and you can like wash it off, but I really wanted to help people who have like just like even thinning brows, people who have like alopecia or like conditions that make them lose their hair. I wanted to help them give like a permanent solution to that and make them more comfortable and confident in their body. It is very like nerve-wracking at first to be working on someone and knowing that it's permanent. Like all of that was really scary, but once you do it enough, you get really confident in yourself. Which like then they can feel that confidence that you're confident in yourself and that they're going to be confident with their results. But
what additional training did you have to undertake to be able to do permanent makeup?
So each state is kind of different. So in Ohio, I still do microblading. You just have to take like a certified course. You do between like 40 to 60 hours of online work and practice by yourself. And then you take a 2-day course, 2 to 3 day course. You learn, I think they're like 10-hour days, maybe 8 or 10-hour days. You go, you learn everything, and then you practice on your live models. But some states like Tennessee now, you have to have a tattoo license through the board. So I'm working on getting that, and you have to like apprentice under someone who's been licensed for 3 years. So each state is very different, but you have to take that initial certification class.
So part of what we like to talk about with our career conversations is this idea that once you get a license, there is such a world of opportunity open to you within the beauty industry. So how did you decide, like, what path to go down and just like opening up this, permanent cosmetics, that's a whole different thing that we don't really talk too much about. So where did the ideas come from, and what support systems did you have along the way, and what would you say to like encourage other people to explore something that might seem completely outside of the norm?
Yeah, I wanted to kind of like test the waters and everything. So that's why I wanted to do film makeup. So I worked with a film company doing that. I really was into permanent makeup because I love tattooing. So I wanted to get into that and see that realm of it because that is more of like a medical kind of side to being an esthetician. But yeah, I kind of wanted to test the waters. If you're like, it's very expensive training, but it's definitely well worth it. You have to invest in yourself. So that's what I learned through Beacon was you have to invest in yourself. And yeah, it is an initial investment that is pricey, but eventually you'll get to learn and you'll get to offer so many more services and help so many people. So if you're thinking about it, just take it, you'll figure out your path like along the way. But if you're interested in and doing it. Like research for sure, even connect with people that do it, ask them questions. I've had a few people ask me like they're interested in taking it, like what are some pros and cons. So if you're interested, just ask someone who already does it, maybe go visit a shop that does it and like shadow someone for a day, just so you can see if you'd be interested in it in the long run before you like take that class and make that investment.
That's great advice. And you had touched on Beacon a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that experience like for you when you were a Beacon student and a participant in the actual class?
Yeah. So when I went, I was very nervous. I had never been anywhere before, like by myself like that. But I was super excited for the experience, and it really opened your eyes to like all the possibilities that are out there, but you have to put in the work to do it. A lot of times, like some things will come to you, opportunities will come to you, but you have to be able to, like, you need to chase those opportunities. So if you want to be successful in a certain field, then you need to like go out there, meet people who do that, make connections with those people, get yourself in there, and so that way you can build and grow. But that's really what Beacon did for me. It opened my eyes to like how much like I will be successful because I'm putting in the work to be successful, and I'm going to open up these doors and opportunities that I want to be successful in. So you really just have to go out there and chase what you want to do, because it's out there. There's plenty of opportunity for it, but you just got to go get it.
Oh, I love that. What were your favorite parts of Beacon? If you think back to when you were participating in it and remember some of the key things that you're like, man, that was amazing. I'm so glad I did that.
Yeah, I loved like meeting new people. I had never really done something like that before. Gino is always inspiring. Everything he says inspires me. But I don't remember her name, but there was a story that she told where she had just like packed up and moved, and she like drove across country in her car to like start a life in California, and she didn't have anything, she didn't have any money, didn't have anything. She was just by herself. But then she started from the bottom, and she had worked her way up to be where she was today. And so that was really inspiring to me, that you know, even if you don't have a plan, even if you're starting from zero, you'll never know unless you do it. And if you do it and it doesn't work out that one time, then you can like go back and reevaluate, but you can try again. So even there is like, you can't take failure as like a knockdown. You have to learn from it, and then you can advance from that. But that was the most important one that I had taken with me.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, what I've heard and what rings true for me too with taking on things that might scare you is that I didn't ever want to look back with regret, because that scared me more than failing at something.
Mm-hmm.
Because truly failing, you learn. And so as you learn and grow, I mean, that takes you off on a trajectory in another way too, and you can never predict where it might take you.
Yeah, and that's how I felt with even moving here. I had always like been in Ohio. I had never I'd never even lived by myself before. I had always lived with my parents. So moving from Ohio to like Nashville by myself all alone, like I was really, really nervous, but I didn't want to look back and like regret not doing it or regret not at least trying. But so yeah, no, I totally feel that.
And what is it? This just popped in my head, but as you're moving and it's valuable information, like how do you transfer your license? So now, you know, in order to work, you have to be licensed now in 2 states, or at least, you know, have that in Tennessee now. What's that been like, kind of figuring out, how do I get my license now in Tennessee?
Yeah, so Google is great. So I just like kind of go online. I've been talking to some people at the like Aveda Institute here, try to help me with like transferring it since they know all about it. But yeah, you just get in touch with the board. You have to submit it with your current state that you're registered in. So I had to submit it to Ohio. They had to transfer it to Tennessee, and then I have to fill out like a reciprocity form for Tennessee, and then they just have to go through all the paperwork and all that. So it's a lengthy process, but it's nothing too hard. That shouldn't deter you from trying to move. Yeah, that stuff's easy.
And then gets you, so I transferred my license from Michigan to Arizona when I moved. And the cool thing is now I have license in both states. So depending on where life takes you, you have like the opportunity to go anywhere with your license, essentially.
Yeah, I'll have my Ohio license and my Tennessee license, and then I'm still traveling to Ohio to do microblading and take clients and all that stuff still. So that's nice that you can be licensed in both, because you can work in both.
Fantastic. So now let's talk about Beacon again, but this time, this past year, 2020, you came back as one of our first groups of peer mentors.
Mhm.
When you saw the information, the call and application to become a peer mentor, what made you think, yes, I want to do that. I want to give back. I want to be a part of that group, that initial group.
Yeah, I knew that like my experience, I was like super scared, never been anywhere. And so I knew that a lot of people who are coming are going to be like that, you know, like we're all in school, we're all starting in the industry. And so that year after I had went to Beacon, I had done quite a few things in that meantime, and it like blew my mind that I had done that in just a year. So I really wanted to come back and to offer like advice and help and anything that I could give to like, you know, the new students who are graduating and finishing school. And because once you're out of school, you kind of are like just blankly staring like, what am I gonna do? So it was nice to like come back and kind of offer advice, because like with makeup or with like building a website, with social media, with film, so I just really wanted to help and kind of make people comfortable, because I used to be really shy and timid, and so it was nice to kind of be someone who could, you know, like reach out to people, get them interested and engaged.
And what was that experience like for you? How did it feel being in that mentor capacity?
Yeah, I really loved it. And it really, I've always wanted to be like an esthetology educator. And so that really is what inspired me to kind of like get working on it. Because I really do love like just helping people, you know, answering questions and just kind of like helping them along their journey, because I had great educators when I was in school who really helped me like define the path I was going to take and encourage me. And so that's really what I want to be to other people.
Oh, that's awesome. And do you have a mentor? Did you have a mentor yourself in helping guide your career?
Not directly, no. But my educator, her name's Barb, but she was really, really sweet. She always like lifted everyone up. She would always be there to answer questions and to listen if you needed anything. So I would say her, but after that, I don't really have anyone specific, but I did look up to like a few people and just like kind of like social media influencer type things to kind of, you know, get me excited and driven to, you know, grow my social media platform and business and all that.
So what would you like advice do you have for students who are in that position where they might be graduating soon, or maybe they just started on their journey in the industry? What advice do you have for them in terms of like what steps they should take, what could help set them up for success as they continue this career journey they have started?
Yeah. So your social media nowadays is huge. So you'll want to make sure that whatever you're doing, you'll like want to get good pictures, good quality pictures, because when someone hears about your name, they're going to go straight to your social media and they want to look through your pictures and they want to see like nice, crisp, like aesthetically pleasing pictures. And so when I took my permanent makeup class, that was a thing that she really like taught us, was how to take good pictures, because you can do great work, and then if your pictures are more like a poor quality, you're not going to have your great work shine through, because not everyone was there for that, you know, in-person moment. They get to see the picture. So just make sure you're taking like good pictures, make sure you're keeping up on your social media. If you don't have one, start one. Even like a website, I did my website all by myself. It's not too difficult, but it's a good way for clients to reach out to you directly. Set up like a business email. That's what I did, and all of my business from my website goes straight to that email. It's all, you know, organized. But yeah, I would definitely just work on some of those things and kind of research what you want to do, and then just reach out to people that do that. A lot of people are really, you know, helpful. They'll give you advice. They'll answer any questions that you have. So don't be afraid to just like reach out and to ask people who are doing what you want to do eventually, like how they got there.
And one of the application phases for Beacon is to have your social media, your Instagram page, have a professional Instagram page, because we do want students to get experience with that and to start building the foundation for their marketing and branding platform. And so that is part of it. So you're going to need it. So do it for Beacon, and then it'll serve you well moving into the future.
Yes.
What other advice do you have? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, you're good.
What other advice do you have for students who are thinking about applying for Beacon, and what should they consider with they have to do their video introduction and a resume, and do you have any tips on those items?
So when I was in school, they would do a resume class with us. They would kind of help along the way. So you can ask your educators for help. I'm sure that they would love to help you. I can't imagine anyone would say no. But yeah, just kind of reach out for help. Even if you find like some past Beacon winners or anything, if you need advice from any of us, we would all be happy to help answer questions. But put 110% into your application, because you really want to show like you want to put your best foot forward, and then yeah, that's kind of all I have for that.
No, for sure. And also with the resume this year, we've partnered with Canvas Recruit. And so when you build your online resume with them, it kind of helps walk you through that too. So it makes it even, again, we're trying to make things easy and make things start as a foundation, because once you have a resume on Canvas Recruit, you have this amazing online portfolio and a place where salon owners can go to and search you out and find you, for future employment too. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, portfolios are huge. So yeah, start working on a portfolio if you can, if you have, the pictures to do it. And another thing, I had a few people ask me like, well, what do I put on a resume? Like is this like adequate enough to put on there? And like anything that you have that you're like proud of, that you've accomplished, just put it on there. Like you don't have to worry too much about like, oh, well, I haven't had much experience, like I've only done a few things. It's just put it on there. Any experience is better than none experience. So just kind of put whatever you feel like you're like passionate about and have accomplished on that resume.
Yeah, no, for sure. And especially as a student, you might not have necessary experience like in the industry, but even if you've been a barista at a coffee shop, there's customer service experience, and there's skills that transfer over into what you'll be doing in the beauty industry, even if it's not in, current beauty experience.
Yeah.
So what is like your favorite thing about the industry? Like, what do you love about it? What drives you to stay in this business and keep forging ahead?
I just love like meeting new people, and everyone in the industry is like a creative, artistic person. So it's nice to, like link up with those people and just have like a fun, creative time. I like to meet up with like friends who do hair. We do some like little photo shoots all the time, do like fun, crazy makeup, people who edit the pictures. So like, it's a bunch of creative people doing what we love. And usually in my experience, it's all positive. No one's really like mean or rude or anything. But yeah, I just love how all of us creative, artistic people can come together and make some really cool stuff.
So talk more about that, the idea of like linking up with someone who's a photographer, a hairstylist if you're a makeup artist, or a makeup artist if you're a hairstylist, to create like amazing images, again, that you could use on your social media when you might not have clients you're working on, but this gives you an opportunity to be creative, learn, grow, and have amazing content.
Yeah, so a big thing in the industry, I'm sure you'll hear it in school all the time, is word of mouth. That is your biggest, marketing form, is word of mouth. So the more people that you can meet up with, you can help each other, get exposure and to reach a different population of people that you may not be able to reach by yourself. So meeting up with people it's just always fun too. You always get to create some fun stuff. There's no pressure behind like if it's right or wrong, because it's whatever you want. You're the artist in that moment. But yeah, it's nice to meet up with people. You get some exposure from them. You can expose them to your crowd of people in your social media. So it's just a great way to meet friends. It's always nice to have friends in the industry too. You can kind of bounce ideas back and forth off each other. But
no, for sure. I love that too. So is there anything else before I'm going to see if there's any questions out there, if Paige behind the scenes has thought of some questions, but before I do that, is there anything else that you would say to students right now?
Oh goodness. Yeah, I mean, so now it's a kind of a weird time. You may not be in school in person. Finding a job might be a little hard, but just don't give up hope. After school, it's gonna feel really, kind of slow. You're not gonna really know what you want to do, but trust me, there is that turning point where like it kind of clicks and you're like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. It takes time to build that clientele, but you have to put the time in to get, the reward at the end. It is a slower process in the beginning, but it's definitely all worth it. The more classes you can take, the more services you can offer, the more marketable you will be for salons. And even if you want to work for yourself, that's what I did for a while. That's what I do currently. But yeah, that's nice too, because you can manage your own schedule, you can make your own clients, you make your own books and stuff. So yeah, there's just so many different opportunities you can get. And it's great for people who are on the run, who have families, like you make your own schedule, you can be home with your children, you can balance that a lot. So there's so many opportunities that come in this industry that some people may not think about, but yeah, I think everything about it is usually positive. I can't think of anything negative about it really.
Awesome, thank you. So Paige, I see your microphone is turned on, and so do you have any questions or anything else that might have come in through our discussion here today?
No, we don't currently have any questions, but I want to say, Danielle, you are really just like on the brink of the industry, and I love your excitement, and I really love that you're a take charge young woman, that it takes a lot of courage to move to a new city. I've been there, speaking from experience. I mean, I think we all have. I know Leslie has too. And it really proves too that what you put into this industry is what you're going to get back.
Mm-hmm.
And all of your hard work, all of those connections, and you will probably run into a lot of those Beacon people again, because we are a strong industry, we are a inclusive industry, and yeah, I'm sure these people that you've met are going to either influence you, or you're going to influence them in your career. So I just kudos to you. I'm very excited for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love that the industry, like everyone is so different. Everyone can be themselves. This is a very open space community. And yeah, you meet so many amazing people. So it's a great industry, in my opinion.
Our opinion too.
Yes.
I am just trying to pull up here before we go the information about Beacon. So I'm gonna put that quite up there. So the applications are open for Beacon. So, and we have, if you do it early and do your application early, you can save some money. So it's $25 for members, $45 regular price through the end of this month, and then it jumps up to $50 and $75 starting on August 1st. So there's that, and then just like to let people know, like there is tuition for Beacon if you're selected to be a part of the class of Beacon, which is $150. And we do tell people we believe that we're putting together an amazing program that's well worth the $150, and you'll get way more out of it than the money that you're putting into it. We do ensure that we're putting together incredible education for you for those couple of days that we have Beacon. So, and then there could be scholarships available. A lot of schools do help with some scholarship costs and application fees. So definitely talk to your school administrator and educators at your school about those options for you too. So any last parting words for you, Danielle, before we go?
Well, so you might see me at Beacon maybe, but yeah, if you guys have any other questions that maybe you don't want to ask like in like a public scenario, you can follow my Instagram. It's at Beauty by Dani K. It's DANIK. You can ask me anything. If you need any advice, even about your Beacon application, I can just help you out in any way. And if whatever you're like wanting to do, just go for it. Like if it's in your heart, then it's meant to be there. So you just gotta go and get it.
Awesome. I love that. And I love like each interview that we do kind of has a theme for it. And like for you, I feel like the theme has been go get it, or, you know, go after it. It's out there. It's yours for the taking. You can't just wait around, right? Like you have to go get it.
Yeah, like if the opportunities are out there and if you don't get it, someone else will. So you got to go get it.
Perfect. I can't think of a better way to end than that. Like pump you up, go get it. You've got this. You can make it happen.
You can do it. Trust me.
Love it. Love it. Well, I do hope to see you in person soon. All the best to you as you start to get settled in Nashville, and we will be in touch for sure about Beacon 2021. But again, thank you so much for making the time, like literally after you've just moved into your new place in Nashville this week. So we just so appreciate you, and are just so impressed with everything that you have going on, and can't wait to see, as Paige said, where this industry takes you and where you'll be in a few years. So thanks again for being here. It was really great to see you, and hope to see you soon.
Yes, thank you so much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, well, take care.
Thanks, you too, guys.
Bye.
Bye.